Iron Maiden has toured with the greatest metal bands in history, but there are 10 bands they absolutely refuse to share a stage with. Some were too unpredictable. Some disrespected the crew. And one band? Bruce Dickinson called them a disgrace to metal and banned them for life. This is the story the metal world tried to bury. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Hidden Notes, where we expose the controversies behind rock's biggest legends. If you love stories about backstage drama and the feuds that shaped metal history, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you're about to hear 10 shocking rejections that prove Iron Maiden doesn't compromise for anyone. For over 40 years, Steve Harris and Bruce Dickinson have built Iron Maiden into one of the most respected bands in heavy metal. But that respect wasn't given freely. It was earned through discipline, professionalism, and an absolute refusal to tolerate bands that didn't meet their standards. Some of these stories will surprise you. Others will shock you. And the number one band on this list? Iron Maiden's refusal destroyed a friendship that went back to the earliest days of the new wave of British heavy metal. Let's count down the 10 bands Iron Maiden said absolutely not to. Band number 10, Dragon Force. Dragon Force approached Iron Maiden about opening for their 2008 Somewhere Back in Time World Tour. On paper, it seemed like a perfect match. Both bands featured epic song structures, virtuoso musicianship, and fantasy-inspired themes. But Iron Maiden said no, and the reason was brutally simple. They viewed Dragon Force as a gimmick band. Steve Harris, Iron Maiden's founder and bassist, has always prioritized substance over flash. He told their tour manager that Dragon Force's hyper-speed guitar solos felt like showing off for the sake of showing off, rather than serving the song. Iron Maiden built their reputation on crafting epic narratives with guitar work that enhanced the story, not overshadowed it. Additionally, Dragon Force's live performances in the mid-2000s had developed a reputation for inconsistency. Their studio albums featured heavily edited guitars that were difficult to replicate live, leading to performances that sometimes fell short of expectations. Iron Maiden's management didn't want any band on their tour whose live show might disappoint audiences. Herman Lee, Dragon Force's guitarist, has never publicly addressed this rejection. Band number 9, Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth wanted to support Iron Maiden during their 2003 Dance of Death tour. The black metal band had achieved mainstream success and thought partnering with Iron Maiden would elevate their status. Iron Maiden's response was immediate and firm. Absolutely not. Cradle of Filth's theatrical approach, heavy makeup, gothic imagery, and extreme vocal styles clashed completely with Iron Maiden's straightforward heavy metal presentation. Bruce Dickinson has always been vocal about keeping Iron Maiden's image focused on the music and the mythology, not shock value. We play heavy metal. Iron Maiden had spent decades fighting to be taken seriously as musicians and storytellers. Danny Filth, Cradle of Filth's vocalist, later mentioned in interviews that he understood the rejection, but was disappointed. Iron Maiden maintained that nothing against Cradle of Filth personally, their styles simply didn't complement each other. Iron Maiden protected their brand by ensuring every band on their tours aligned with their core identity. Traditional heavy metal performed with precision and passion. Band number 8, Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold has repeatedly cited Iron Maiden as a primary influence. Their twin guitar harmonies, epic song structures, and theatrical live shows clearly draw from the Iron Maiden playbook. Iron Maiden's management explained that they preferred not to tour with bands heavily influenced by their sound. The reasoning was strategic. Audiences would inevitably compare the two bands, and Iron Maiden didn't want their set to feel like the original versus the copy. Bruce Dickinson addressed this philosophy in a 2011 interview without naming Avenged Sevenfold specifically. We look for bands that bring something different to the table. If you sound too much like us, what's the point? Iron Maiden wanted opening acts that offered contrast, making Iron Maiden's headlining set feel like a distinct experience. M. Shadows, Avenged Sevenfold's vocalist, has spoken respectfully about Iron Maiden in subsequent interviews, never expressing bitterness about the rejection. But the message was clear. Iron Maiden values originality, and bands that mirror their style, even excellent ones, won't share their stage. Band number 7, Trivium. Trivium emerged in the mid-2000s as one of the most technically proficient metal bands of their generation. Their blend of thrash, metalcore, and progressive elements earned critical acclaim. In 2006, their management lobbied hard for Trivium to open for Iron Maiden during European festival dates. Iron Maiden declined, and the reason was about maintaining hierarchy within metal. Trivium was young, talented, and hungry, exactly the type of band that could steal the show from headliners if given the opportunity. Steve Harris recognized this and made a calculated decision. Trivium was too dangerous as an opening act. This wasn't an insult to Trivium's ability, it was a compliment wrapped in rejection. Iron Maiden understood that their audience expected them to dominate every show. Matt Heafy, Trivium's guitarist and vocalist, mentioned years later that he took the rejection as validation of Trivium's impact. Iron Maiden only rejected bands they viewed as legitimate threats. Band number 6, Dimmu Borgir, Norwegian symphonic black metal band. Dimmu Borgir approached Iron Maiden about touring together in 2007. Dimmu Borgir had achieved significant commercial success and thought their symphonic elements would complement Iron Maiden's epic storytelling style. Iron Maiden disagreed completely. Bruce Dickinson's operatic singing was one of Iron Maiden's defining characteristics, and pairing them with a band whose vocals were deliberately abrasive made no sense. Steve Harris told management, "Our fans come to hear singing, not screaming. Their fan base spans generations, including older fans who discovered them in the 1980s. Band number 5, Lamb of God. Lamb of God represents modern American heavy metal, aggressive, groove-oriented, and uncompromising. Lamb of God's live show is a relentless assault. No dynamics, no breathers, just sustained heaviness from start to finish. Bruce Dickinson explained this philosophy in interviews. A great show is like a great story. You need quiet moments to make the loud moments matter. Pairing Iron Maiden with Lamb of God would have exhausted audiences before Iron Maiden even took the stage. Randy Blythe, Lamb of God's vocalist, addressed this indirectly in interviews, acknowledging that not every band pairing makes sense logistically. Band number 4, Slipknot. Slipknot is one of the most successful metal bands of the 21st century. Their combination of aggression, theatrics, and raw emotion resonated with millions of fans worldwide. In 2004, their management approached Iron Maiden about a potential co-headlining stadium tour. Iron Maiden rejected the proposal immediately. Steve Harris has always insisted that Iron Maiden's music and Eddie the Head mascot provide all the theatrics necessary. Adding another heavily theatrical band would create visual and thematic confusion. Additionally, Slipknot's audience demographic skewed younger and more aggressive. Iron Maiden's fanbase, while passionate, prided itself on being knowledgeable about metal history and musicianship. Band number 3, Machine Head. Machine Head's Rob Flynn has been open about his complicated relationship with Iron Maiden. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Machine Head was experiencing a creative renaissance with albums like The Blackening. Rob Flynn had made critical comments about other metal legends in interviews, but Steve Harris values respect and humility within the metal community. He told management that he wasn't interested in helping the career of someone who publicly disrespected the scene that built the opportunities he was now enjoying. Iron Maiden had earned their status through decades of consistency. Rob Flynn has since tempered his public statements and expressed regret for some earlier comments. Band number 2, Ghost. Ghost approached Iron Maiden about touring together in 2015, during the height of Ghost's commercial success. On the surface, it seemed perfect. Steve Harris viewed Ghost as more of a performance art project than a genuine metal band. Ghost's anonymity, the masked members, and focus on the papal character. Bruce Dickinson has always insisted that Iron Maiden succeeds because of the musicians themselves, not costumes or characters. Ghost's more explicit approach felt unnecessarily confrontational. Tobias Forge, Ghost's leader, has never publicly addressed this rejection. Iron Maiden believed great music should stand on its own merit, and Ghost's reliance on theatrical presentation contradicted that philosophy. Band number 1, Judas Priest. This rejection is the most painful and controversial on the list because Judas Priest isn't just another band. They're legends who helped define heavy metal alongside Iron Maiden. The two bands came up together in the late 1970s and early 1980s, sharing stages and mutual respect. Neither Iron Maiden nor Judas Priest was willing to alternate closing spots. Rob Halford stated in interviews, "We don't open for anyone." Bruce Dickinson expressed identical sentiments. Judas Priest's live show in 2008 was still incredibly powerful. Rob Halford's vocals remained strong, and the band's set list of classics would have created direct competition for audience energy. If this video gave you a new perspective on how Iron Maiden built their empire, smash that like button and subscribe to Hidden Notes for more untold stories from rock and metal's biggest legends.